We like to think that when a house is torn down, the history goes with it. We scrape the dirt clean and start over. But some memories are tied to the soil, not to the wood. Last week, during a routine demolition in a high-end neighborhood, I met a woman. She looked like anyone else, tired, hopeful, just looking for a work for her and for her husband. But after she left, I found a photo from 1999 that changed everything. If you have ever felt a sudden inexplicable chill on a hot summer day, listen closely. This is Don't Install the Meter, the chilling secret of Carter Estate. The demolition of the old Carter Estate in the Brookside Heights was supposed to be the biggest win of my career. I am an architect and a developer. I had finally gotten the permits to tear down the drafty 25-year-old mansion and replace it with a luxury apartment complex. The Carters had moved out a week prior and the site was quiet. I arrived early, but my contractor called. His rig had blown a tire on the interstate. He was going to be hours late. I sat in my truck, the AC blasting against the Georgia heat, listening to an old Sinatra track on the radio. The cool air made me heavy-eyed, and eventually I drifted off. The sound on my window made me jump. A woman was standing there. She wore a faded yellow sundress and a thin red cardigan, despite the heat. In her arms, she cradled a small, pale child. I figured she was looking for a handout and waved her away, but she didn't budge. She gestured for me to roll down the glass. I lowered it, and the humid summer air rushed in. "Can I help you?" I asked, my voice tight with irritation. "Sir, is it true? Are you tearing down the big house to build something new?" she said softly. "That's the plan. Why?" I replied. "You'll need a hand, won't you? Someone to keep the dust down with the hoses? I can do that. And my husband, he's a hard worker. He can pull the night watchman shifts so no one steals your equipment," she said. Good help is hard to find on short notice. I looked at her tired eyes, the way the child clung to her as if it hadn't eaten in days. My heart softened. "Where is your husband now?" I asked. "He's out looking for day labor. He'll be back by dark," she replied. "All right. Come back in 2 days. I'll have a temporary trailer set up for you both to stay in. We'll call it a trial run," I said. Her face lit up. "Thank you, sir. You have no idea what this means to us. Just one thing. Please don't put an electric meter inside the trailer. I'm deathly afraid of them," she said. "Whatever. We'll figure it out," I muttered, distracted by my buzzing phone. She leaned down, and right there in the gravel of the driveway, she touched her forehead to the ground at my feet. Her hand brushed my shoe. I jumped back. Her skin was ice cold. Not just cold, but refrigerated. I watched her walk toward the shade of a massive weeping willow. I noticed the child's hands. On his tiny fingers were these strange, translucent yellow rings. 10 minutes later, the contractor finally arrived. We walked the perimeter, and as we headed back to the gate, the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Carter, pulled up with an electrician. "Just moving the main power line before the walls come down," Mr. Carter said. His wife was holding a leather-bound photo album, her eyes red from crying. "One last look at the memories," she whispered, opening the book. I flipped through the pages, and the world stopped spinning. In a grainy Polaroid from a housewarming party 25 years ago, there she was. The yellow dress, the red cardigan, the same frail child. "Mr. Carter, who is this?" I stammered, pointing at the photo. The Carters looked at each other, their faces going pale. Mr. Carter pulled me aside. "We never told anyone. The night we moved in, there was a freak storm. The original night, watchman's wife and kid were in the shed. The roof leaked right onto the fuse box. They were electrocuted instantly. The husband, he had gone out to a bar. He found them the next morning, Mr. Carter said. My throat went dry. I looked toward the weeping willow. The shade was empty. But she was just here, I whispered. She begged me not to put a meter in the trailer. And the kid, he had yellow rings on his fingers, plastic or something, I said. Mrs. Carter's voice was a ghost of a whisper. Candy rings. They used to sell them at the pharmacy down the street back in the 90s. I used to buy them for the boy to keep him quiet while his mother worked. They haven't made those in 20 years, Mrs. Carter said. I sat in my truck for a long time after they left. The house came down that afternoon, the wood splintering and the brick turning to dust. I waited for her to return with her husband, but the sun went down and the site stayed silent. I realized then that she wasn't looking for a job. She was looking for a place where the lights wouldn't hurt them anymore. The new apartments are finished now. They are beautiful, modern, and full of life. But every now and then, the night security guard calls me. He says he hears a woman's voice near the parking garage asking if there is any work to be done. And sometimes in the morning, the cleaners find small sticky yellow circles on the handrails like melted sugar from a candy ring that shouldn't exist. What would you do if you realized you have made a promise to someone who had been gone for decades? Would you keep the lights off for them? Let me know in the comments. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more hauntings from the Deep South. Until next time, watch out for the shadows in the corner of your eye.